Welcome to the month of May 2023. I just published an article on my blog, so make sure to check it out. I will leave a link below, but it is going to outline all the key dates that you need to be aware of for your benefit and your transformational journey. Now, the month of May is a universal month number 3 in numerology. If you may already be experiencing a shift in energy, but basically what this means is that we very well could be entering a month here that is very communicative, very creative, and very joyful. The flip side to it is that we are still in eclipse season. So we're having the full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio on the 5th, which is going to throw the energy off a little bit, off balance, which the 3 needs balance in order to sustain equilibrium. Now, if the 3 is off balance, it could be a little moody. It could feel a little unbalanced. So just be aware of some of the emotions that might be rising to the surface during the full moon. It is in Scorpio, of course, on the 5th, which is in the 5th month. It's a double 5-day. So the energy of 5 is very much pertaining to change, big change. And the 5 and the 5 is 10, which is equals a 1 when you break it down in numerology, which is new beginnings, right? So there could be a little bit of a death and rebirth. If you're noticing energy coming up to the surface, be aware of that energy, of the emotions, of the thoughts, and just let it go. Just be at peace with it as much as possible. I know it's easier said than done, but these are exercises that I have gone through myself that have helped me deal with a lot of emotional turmoil. So I find that when I have gone through a lot of these emotional uncertainties and really dark, deep stuff, which the Scorpio full moon could bring for some, everyone has a different path and different experiences. But if you're finding yourself dealing with uncertainties, dealing with fears, dealing with just uncontrollable emotions, just sit with it and don't feel bad that you're feeling it. Most importantly, see where it's coming from and what those emotions might be telling you. Because as soon as you go through it, the energy is purging, it's running its course, then you're going to have a new version of yourself. And if anything is being initiated and I wouldn't say this is a time for initiation and starting things, but definitely realizations will come to the surface. Maybe even an opportunity might find you, or maybe even a conclusion from an old story to give you closure so that you can move into a new chapter. It's all open for you to observe, and the greater awareness that you can have around this time, the greater ability that you will have to create your conscious future, the future that you are wanting, or making the conscious choices from a place of understanding, right? So deeper understanding, deeper wisdom. And it will create, in the long run, working with this, it will create a more fulfilling life, a life where you can make choices based on your beliefs, based on your values, based on what's important for you, go through the healing, go through the transformation. It's all lining you up to somewhere, right? So you are on your own unique path. And yes, this full moon can offer a clue towards your destiny. So when we go through a purge, if we go through a release, if we go through a transformation, but we know we want better, we know we want something more, we know we want something greater, we're open for that experience, something is going to show or can show around this time. So be open for awareness and know that what needs to show may show up in ways that we aren't expecting, right? So we need to be open-minded or open to the unexpected, right? For things to show up in unusual ways. Now, after the full moon eclipse, we have the Mercury in retrograde until the 14th in Taurus. Now, this is still in effect, and the energy may have been feeling slower than usual. If you're dealing with things like finances or work, that would explain a few things that I've been facing lately now that I think about it. But definitely, yeah, the energy could feel a little bit slower, a little bit sluggish. And there could also be a mind-body disconnect. Be aware of that. There could be also an emphasis maybe on reflecting on the body. Maybe it could be a good time to just ground yourself in nature, spending time doing what you love, nurturing yourself, body, mind, and soul, nurturing relationships, and even just nurturing what you want to build into the future. We still are in Taurus season. So this is a strong theme regardless of Mercury in retrograde. Mercury, remember, controls, but influences our logic, our our communication, sharing our wisdom and our knowledge with the world, analytical thought, rational thought. So it is going to influence the process of this, the processing of this information or distributing. But even if your work it has to do with communication, there might be a bit of a stall. There might be a bit of a stall with business in general. So just take it as it resonates as well. But that is going to be ending on May the 14th, but there is going to be a post retrograde after that until the end of the month. So again, things just might be a little bit sluggish for this month. But as soon as Sun enters Gemini, then the energy of the 3, I feel, is going to be amplified. I feel that the energy of the 3 is going to be in its full form. So Gemini is a very communicative, very sociable, very knowledgeable, and very energetic energy. It's very much about the wit of knowledge, of distributing knowledge, learning really fast, learning through osmosis, really wanting to engage, and especially very sociable energy. Spend time with your friends, really good to create or cultivate healthy relationships or exciting relationships. It's a really great time for socializing. It's a really great time for distributing knowledge. So maybe even after this Mercury in retrograde, the gates might open and there may be a flood of opportunity, or even just wanting to share information with the world or engage with others. So the energy definitely, I feel, by the end of the month or by Gemini season is going to definitely change. It's going to lighten up. It's going to become again more engaging and also more creative. I also have to add that the 3 energy is very creative energy. I also need to mention that we have Pluto going in retrograde as well as of the 1st of this month. This is going to be a time to evaluate, to reevaluate any self-destructive behaviors, perhaps. So there may be a little bit of a theme around reflection and observation within self. May 7th, we have Venus in Cancer. This is going to be where relationships or love may become very emotional. There might be softness to it, or there might be a very strong relationship in your life that may become closer. Could even have to do with family. It could have to do with family, pertain to family matters or those who are closest to you. May 16th, we have Jupiter in Taurus. You are going to want to find out where Jupiter resides in your chart, or where Jupiter will be in your chart during this time, because this is the planet of luck. Now, in Taurus energy, there's going to be just a natural theme around cultivating finances, cultivating luxuries, wealth, and opportunity. Most of all, enjoying the finer things in life. And this is actually where the 3 could come into a really nice harmonious balance with this Jupiter and Taurus for this month. Definitely use this as an opportunity to maybe cultivate creative projects, or even spending time with others, really enjoying the finer things in life, but also the fun things in life. And that will grow to cultivation and growing relationships or growing success. May 19th, we have the new moon in Taurus. Now, if you've been following my videos for a while, the new moons coincided with the sun being in that same zodiac. Now, it's kind of getting a little bit thrown off the original pattern. The new moon in Aries, the solar eclipse in Aries was the start of that. So now we have the new moon in Taurus right before Gemini season, right before the sun enters Gemini. So we have a time during this new moon in Taurus to manifest again. We're back with manifestation. So the new moon's a time for setting new intentions. This is a time to set your intentions to do with the practical realm. And right after this new moon, we're going to have Gemini season. So we're going to have a time for researching, for planning, for maybe networking, for even growing our network and creative abilities for manifesting our dreams and desires, or our goals, or the intentions that were set during that new moon in Taurus. And I will do a separate video on the new moon in Taurus, so just stay tuned for that. But this is pretty much the theme of the month. I feel that towards the later portion of the month especially, we're naturally going to have a very uplifting energy. The energy is going to shift because we're going to be out of Mercury retrograde, out of eclipse season, and that 3 and Gemini is a really nice pairing, I do feel. So pay attention to that. It would be a really great time to connect with others, to network, to socialize, to just have fun, and to create. All right, so I'm wishing you all the best in the month of May, and I'll be seeing you again very soon. Take care.